be here. I always wanted to write stories, and sometimes when you have a story idea, it's deciding what format it's going to be in, and so I knew that this from the beginning was going to be a book, even though my background is in screenwriting, because it was just too big to be just a screenplay by itself. So the first inkling I had of it was I had an image, I'm a really visual writer, of a girl in an arena who was about to be executed. And I didn't know anything about her, I just knew that she was going to die. But instead of being killed, she kills her executioner with lightning. She electrocutes him. And I was like, whoa, I would love to see where that's coming from and where that's going. And I just kept asking questions of who is she, what kind of world has to exist for her to exist, what are the rules, what are things that I love that I could bring into this, and then every question led to another piece of the story as it formed. It was very cool. Yeah, it feels like something I never would have accomplished in my entire life, and of course it's something I've dreamed about since I was a kid, is having a completed series that I wrote, let alone a series that people read and enjoy and come to see me and talk about. It's been a real thrill, and I've never expected it would actually happen. You always want it to happen, but it's crazy that it has happened. I don't know if there's something wrong with me, but no, because I know a lot of authors will say, oh yes, I miss them, but I think I've been working on this particular series and been in these heads for so long that I'm ready to do something new. Who knows how I'll feel in a couple of years, if I'll be ready to come back or whatever. But for now, I'm happy that it ended the way it did. I'm happy to do the short stories and then move on to new sandboxes. Currently, I'm working on the Red Queen short stories collection, which is set after the end of War Storm. So we get to see some characters who survived that and what's going on with them a few months later. There's also going to be new characters, a story that takes place during War Storm from another point of view in another place. And then there's going to be extra content like maps and family trees and just information about the world, which I really enjoyed creating. Absolutely, you can't write. You're very hard-pressed to write anything that does not reflect what you are going through in your own life, but especially because these books are about class division and power and a form of racism, obviously they're going to reflect the world we live in because those are very real problems in our own world, and it's something that you struggle to portray, and you're hoping you're portraying properly while also trying to fight against them as well. It's interesting because there's sometimes people will say, oh, you shouldn't include racism or sexism or homophobia in your fantasy books. And that's totally true. We want to write fantasies where these horrible things don't exist anymore. But at some point, it's almost irresponsible to ignore them too. So it's finding a way to represent them in a world in which it makes sense with the story, while you're also not ignoring a problem that's real. Well, physically, I've said this before, but I made her very short because I'm a short girl, and I think us short people have like an anger inside of us that is constant, and I really understand it, and so it's in her too, so I can connect to her on that level. So there are definitely things in her head that I would say or I would think, and there's things I wish I was and things I'm glad I'm not. And then as far as other characters go, it can be big things or little things, like Julian loves maps and I love maps, so it's just taking out little pieces of things that you can connect to so you can write those characters in a better way. Not a specific favorite, they all bring different things to the table for me. They all feed a different part of the writing beast inside, so Maven is the most difficult, but I really enjoy that because he's a challenge and he makes me the best writer I can be because I'm constantly thinking about his motivation and his character. Evangeline is really fun to write because she's so snarky and kind of a bitch, and I love it. And Mare is great too because she's just a force of nature, and it's so exciting to write women like that. No news that I can say. I know that we're still working on it. We're still hoping to get this to the screen. We have a team that really loves the work and loves the story and wants to do it justice, which is more than you can ask for. They've been really great with me and really inclusive of me. And so it's just a lot of steps. A lot of people need to say yes before it finally happens. Okay, if I was in the Red Queen world, I think I would be a red who is of no consequence to the story. I would definitely be a background character. I'd be the person in the crowd saying like, that's crazy. But if I had to choose a silver power, it's not in the books, but I would choose for a superpower time travel. because I'm a history nerd and I would just want to go on a great tour and see how it actually all went down. I think that'd be amazing. But if I had to choose one in the books, I'd probably be a whisper, because I feel like that's the best defensive power. But at the same time, I don't want to listen to people talk that much, so I don't want to hear what's going on in their heads. And thank you to you guys for bringing me here to Germany. This has been amazing.
Yeah, we hope it wasn't the last time.
No, me too.
So
Yay.
Keep writing.
Yes.
And thank you.
Thank you so much.